1:59 a.m.
1:59. Look, you can't record a 1:59 a.m. podcast and not tell everybody you're recording a 1:59 a.m. podcast.
That's the first thing I wanted to say.
I beat you to it.
Like, it's Masters Week. That's number one. Number two
Who gives a fuck at this point? It's 1:59 a.m.
1:59 in the goddamn morning. What a roller coaster of a day.
We're sitting in New York City on like a gloomy 1:59 morning, but we're talking golf.
Here we are.
Usually you don't talk golf at this point, like in life, right? Like usually in REM. Is that what it is? REM cycle.
You're in a REM cycle, yeah.
I'm usually getting my elbows fucking beat up by some demon in my bed right now.
The Hulk is usually boxing my head in
my
right now.
arms are usually halfway to being dead at this point in the night. Like right now, circulation is just being cut off on old Frankie's.
The two of you are usually in the middle of a Saw movie. At this point.
Trent is slowly rising from the sheets at this moment, but today, on this Tuesday morning, we are talking golf.
We're talking golf, and it's motherfucking Masters Week.
You know what we usually do in their Masters Week? I'm usually dreaming about Augusta, so now we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, we just haven't got reacclimated yet. So Frankie and I were in Minneapolis. We've been there since Thursday night for the Final Four. We were doing live radio. We were doing all kinds of stuff.
God.
We couldn't record today. It just didn't work out. We were trying to squeeze it in, this, that.
4 different times we thought we were going to record.
We were like, should we do this podcast for like a year and a half
should
now?
be able to figure it out.
Hundreds of shows. You're just hitting your head on the microphone.
Well, to be fair, it's now 2:01
the clock is about
a.m.
to 5, 4, 3, 2,
1,
2:01.
Look at you guys. That's cute.
I love the master clock.
You can tell we're all kind of delirious right now. It is literally 2:01. We tried to record earlier. Couldn't get it done because we've been out of town. Figured it's too big of a show for us to kind of half-ass it by some call-in bullshit. So here we are. We're in studio. We had Trent and Jake had to literally set their alarms and wake up at like 1:30 a.m.
I went to bed at 9 p.m.
We took a flight straight from Minneapolis during the game and then landed, took an Uber straight to the office. So it's 2 a.m. We're grinding through. But we do get to talk golf. It's Masters Week. It is such a beautiful thing. Couple things from our trip to Minnesota. Number one, we went by Minnesota Golf, the University of Minnesota Golf.
Yeah, we did.
Their facility, brand new facility. Very, very cool spot. They got a TrackMan in there. They're just like a really fun, cool environment. They're ripping drivers. They're ripping drivers off the deck. The TrackMan just gives you all your feedback in real time, so they're able to just hit out of these hitting bays all year round, which you have to have, obviously, in Minnesota because it's -20 all year round. And then they just built on top of it, they've got this indoor, like, chipping and putting facility.
State-of-the-art facility. It's like sitting on – so they have this little area behind a public range, and, like, they're like, oh, well, first of all, we're sitting at a bar in Minneapolis, and Riggs gets like a DM, I guess from the captain of the team or someone from the team.
Oh, yeah, a guy, Fish.
Fish
That's what they
is
call
his
him.
name.
What's
Yeah,
up, Fish?
And he's like, you want to come over? And we're like, yeah, like we're just doing nothing. What was it, Saturday, Sunday? We're just
Sunday afternoon at like 2
doing
o'clock.
nothing on Sunday in Minneapolis. Like really nice weather out. Yeah, we're gonna go over to the Minnesota fucking golf team and see their facility. He's like, make a right on this old dirt road, like like the song. Like he's like, take your horse down by the old dirt road or Old Town Road, and literally like, go behind this fucking shed. And like the Uber driver thought we were gonna murder someone.
Yeah.
But then like you turn this corner and on this like little mud patch is like the nicest building you've ever seen in your entire life. It was
brand new golf facility.
Brand new. It was like they took the bubble wrap off of it yesterday.
I liked when you said state-of-the-art facility. I don't know if I've ever been to a state-of-the-art facility in anything. It just feels good.
State-of-the-art.
State-of-the-art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is state-of-the-art?
I don't even know what that means.
If you break it down, I don't know. State-of-the-art. So it's like this is the current state of this art, and it's the most cutting edge.
And it is. The state of it is amazing. So we had this chipping facility. Bummer for Frankie. Now,
were they being mean to you?
Here we go. Under.
I thought they had bad intentions of inviting us. Once I got there, I realized that there was a reason why we got invited. It wasn't just to see the place. It was so that they could put a wedge in my hand from the first 5 seconds I got in there. I said, now what the fuck is this?
They put a wedge in Frankie's hands, and then they all just circled and got their phones out. It was a setup like you've never seen before.
I felt like I was at a circus.
Dude, you're a freak show. You're a freak show.
They're like, here's our state-of-the-art facility. Oh, and by the way, the lefty from the group is coming with a full bag of wedges, and we have all these balls here to hit on this turf inside this room.
Now, a couple of the videos from Frankie went, it went a little viral, I guess, in our little golf world, especially helped by our friend Bryson DeChambeau, who has been known to bury Frankie.
He's always quick. He doesn't always answer me when I ask him to play Fortnite, but he's very quick to the Instagram stories whenever I fucking shank a wedge.
Put a little story up there of Frank just skull fucking a wedge over this green. I mean, he's
these elbows,
firing balls through windows and shit in this state-of-the-art facility in Minnesota.
First of all, they have an indoor chipping facility, and you think I'm gonna chip around this thing? Are you crazy? I haven't hit a good wedge in 2.5 years.
Bryson quote tweets the thing and says he should try bowling. He'll knock a lot more pins down with that butter
To be
knife.
fair, that was the worst shot I hit
It was.
in
Yeah.
years. Like, they had this little fucking. Now the facility's awesome, right? The TrackMan's awesome. Like the way you're able to hit your drives off the deck and all the everything. But they have this little sand trap that I was built for failure. Like it's
The
a
sand trap was impossible.
it's a turf. It's just more turf that looks brown.
It's
like,
just a different
brown.
color, yeah.
So like they're like, oh yeah, like hit a flop shot out of there. I'm like, this is like hitting off a rug.
Yeah.
Like how I can't hit it off fluff. Whenever I'm like, I'm at Bethpage, I'm like, I need a nice little fluffy patch of grass. I can't hit it off a rug.
It was the tightest lie in the world.
Crazy.
So Frankie couldn't get out of that bunker to save his life, obviously. Now, we did a little putting contest. We did a little chipping contest. The thing is awesome. So that was the first real like college golf facility experience
I
I've ever
outdrove
had.
Riggs, by the way.
So then we moved
Hold on.
over to the hitting bay.
Yeah.
And Frankie steps up, grabs like a 7-iron or something, hits it, and Frankie has a beautiful golf swing for anyone who hasn't
It
seen
really is.
it. Gorgeous.
I
think
watched
it's
that.
a lefty.
I watched
aspect.
that Insta story like 8 times.
He has
it's
a
fucking
beautiful,
beautiful swing.
fluid golf swing, and you should have heard everyone, and they go, whoa, because he had he's just taking out windows left and right inside the chipping area, and now all of a sudden he steps up to the thing, and they're like, oh, the guy can actually play golf. It's amazing the difference.
It's alarming.
You swing like a 2 handicap, you chip like a 30.
I don't look like the same human. Like watching, and I was even saying to Riggs, like I there was a moment where I like looked at him today, and I was like, dude, like this isn't even like a joke at this point. I actually watched a video of myself chipping, like the one that Bryson put up on his Instagram story, and it doesn't even look like me from behind. Like the way I stand like hunched over. I don't even look like athletic when I'm for some reason, it's just I have the yips, man. I bend my knee weird. I like try and fucking scoop the ball, but then you put any other club in my hand, and I can at least look like an athlete.
Great.
I was saying to myself, like, look like an athlete today, Frankie.
I mean,
Come
my
on.
DMs, you kept saying that over the ball. My DMs are full of people telling me to tell you what to do
It's crazy.
over the chips.
I can't get away from
We
it.
got coaches sending diagrams in. It's all.
Now, I will say, Bryson did body me, but someone, he may have also been like, hey, if we want to figure this out, we can figure this out. So that's a little teaser for what may be in the future of Bryson saying, like, I understand what you're going through here, Frankie, but we can fix this.
He spelled bowling wrong in that chirp,
He did.
by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little typo. I don't know if we're
I actually didn't like to see that because that was kind of human of him.
Yeah. I don't know if we're those kind of guys that call people out for typos.
We are now. Yeah,
Okay,
I just
all
did
right.
a
I'm
spelled
smacking
bowling
my
wrong,
head
Bryson.
against a fucking mic. I can't even look straight. It's 2:07 in the morning.
You guys are reaching for whatever you can. It's
I
totally
mean,
fine.
if
Our
he's
guy
the
barely-
super smart guy, at least spell everything right, my man.
Well, maybe you're reaching here. I don't know.
Although
that you're
Bryson
such a
feels
stickler.
like the type of guy that would spell check or like correct the way you said it. Like, what Bryson's type of guy is that I would fucking freak out if I had to say like, oh, my friend and I, or me and my friend. I'd be saying that in my head, like, what's the right term to say around this guy? Because he will judge me on based on if I
Yeah.
said the opposite one.
I agree.
You know what? Not to be a little bit of like a grammar Nazi here,
Yeah.
but you know what people mess up all the time is when you tell they're trying really hard to do grammar correctly, and they do the like Jen and I. They'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, everybody, come join Jen and like I at this party, and
Right.
it's like, no, actually, you're supposed to pretend like the blank and isn't part of it, and that's how you would say it. So you would just say like, come join me at the party. You wouldn't say
Right.
come join I at the party.
Right. See, that's exactly what Bryson
So
would do.
people,
I
you
would
can
say,
always
come
tell
join Jen and
people-
I at the party, and he'd be like, you're an idiot.
People are always trying to get it right, and you can tell that they make that extra step to be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, I know this one, and they get it wrong.
This is why him and
I definitely screw that up all
this
the
is
time.
why this is why Bryson and Riggs hit it off.
Yeah, that's their best pals. That 30-second meeting that one time,
Little-
now they're best friends.
A little dap up on the driving range.
Yeah.
Look, Frankie's trying to sit there and chirp, but at the end of the day, he had a nice little conversation with Bryson. That he's going to help him out. Bryson wants to help him out. And Frankie, there's a nice little moment that happened where I guess it was during his official press interview in the Augusta National Media Center, which is a nice place, pretty official place. He's doing his interview, and somebody put this graphic up, and it just says Bryson DeChambeau has not finished under par through 72 holes in any major. That's just the graphic.
That guy loves Frankie Bradley.
Yeah, no, it's a great graphic. We needed something like that. We needed a W over Bryson.
What an absurd thing to just put
It's
up
a
there.
ricochet shot, but like that's just a fact.
They
Right.
could put
Bryson is a guy, he wouldn't argue with facts, and that's a fact.
No, that's a fact. It's a statistical, scientific fact.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have put up there guys won like 5 events in the last year and a half.
Is
Something of that
scientifical a
nature.
word?
It is-
Scientifical?
It's
I don't think so.
vocabulary is
be.
all about confidence.
Scientific word. No, scientifical can't be a word.
No,
Just
it's
can't
not.
be.
But like you said, it's a fact that whatever they put up about pricing.
Scientifical? No
can't
chance.
be a word. Just can't.
No chance. Anyways, that was fun.
Yeah,
Shout
it
out
was
to the
good.
Minnesota golf guys. We appreciate it. Awesome experience. One of the best color schemes and logos in college sports.
For sure.
Really
No
cool
doubt about
place. I mean, if you look, a place that I would never think to go golf, but now after seeing it, it's like, well, obviously, like, you go play golf, you play on an amazing team. They won the fucking national championship in 2002. The coach,
Which is crazy.
the coach there was on the team. They have a cool facility, and then all of a sudden you get to just like watch hockey, like with some of the best hockey in like the world. Like
Yep.
you know, it's like you're hanging out with guys who are literally going to the NHL and shit. It's awesome.
How about 50,000 people go to Minnesota, too?
So cool.
Jesus.
Isn't that nuts?
The guys couldn't have been cooler too. They're like, this is where we live. This is where we buy beer. Like they're driving us all around. They were really cool guys.
I feel like we went from having no college golf teams until now we have 2.
Oh, I forgot about that. I put up a little Instagram being like, think we're big Gopher golf fans now. 90% of the replies are like, oh, that was really fucking quick. You suck. Like, I thought you were Mississippi State golf. It's like, I didn't say I hate Mississippi State golf now. It's just like, we can be fans of a couple different schools.
different conferences. It's like they're different,
Totally.
totally different things.
When am I going to have to root for one over the other?
Right.
Never.
I'm
Under any
all in on
circumstance.
Minnesota.
I'm
Though.
a Minnesota. Yeah, that's a Midwest thing. I'm all in on Minnesota as well.
Look, Minnesota's great. Mississippi State's great. If they are playing against each other, fine. We'll have to come up with some tough decision. We're big fans of both teams. We got connections to both squads. One showed us around. The other one, they got amazing nicknames, and they call into the show and tell great stories. We're fans of both squads. Everybody just settle down out there. We can be fans of 2 out of like 100 college golf teams. That's not that big of a deal. Our other experience before we get into the Masters was we had now, I like Topgolf. I've been to Topgolf 2 or 3 times now in my life. I'm generally a big fan of Topgolf. It's fun. It's casual. It's great for the game of golf.
Good for the gram.
Great
a couple
for the
Instagram stories.
unless you get the treatment that we have. And my
Correct.
next, I was going to give a big but. I do my whole
Oh.
thing and then but. I usually like Topgolf, but we had the worst Topgolf experience you could possibly have.
What do you mean?
They fucking put us on the first floor on
Yeah.
the far left up against this wall. The whole point of going to Topgolf, you get that elevated Instagram
Oh, yeah.
view that you put up. You can see all the targets down below. You see right where your golf ball lands. It fucking lights up like you're at a
Feels like
goddamn
you're on a-
carnival.
Feels like you're on the set of like the original Space Jam or something. Like
Yes.
something insane. You're just hitting the ball into like outer space.
Yeah.
Now, we're down in the bottom left part. We can't even see where our ball lands because we're so freaking low. It's like we were below ground hitting
We were
golf
hitting from the
balls.
parking lot.
It was insane. It was unreal.
I mean, I'm a lefty, so the wall was on the left. Like I couldn't even go after some of the targets because I was afraid I was gonna hit the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced I'm convinced it was this manager didn't like us and put us down there on purpose. Because on the way there, like our place was so fucking far away and so in the parking lot, we walked by maybe 80 other bays on the way,
Oh yeah.
and like 30 of them were just open.
Having level 2 or 3 was never an option for us. It was always level 1 all the way to the left. There was never another option.
Sick
We
facility
walked
too.
out and we're like, look how cool Topgolf. Like after we had a horrible experience, we're walking out of the place and like we're on the second level now and we're like looking out at the place. We're like, Topgolf's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But we just spent an hour and a half here and we didn't see any of this.
Ours is like we went to a shitty driving range.
Not
That's
to
what it
mention,
felt
I
like.
got my shit like pumped in by like MB and like Casey Smith because I just couldn't hit a target.
Bad look for you on the internet. That scoreboard.
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
know
I
who
was
tweeted that out.
striping the ball. Just couldn't hit a target.
Yeah, it's really kind of an equalizer for people. Like it's nice because you can get people of high skill, people of low skill. You can get women involved, men involved, like whoever you want. You can kind of go play Topgolf. Everybody get fun. But like if people can't get the golf ball off the ground, but they can make contact, it'll like scurry along and end
Yeah.
up in a target area and get some points. Frankie was hitting like flush like 7 irons right down the middle in between the targets and getting 0 points.
My
all
first
the time.
5 swings, I took a 3-wood out and I was crushing them like 220, and I'm like, let's go, and 0 points.
You kept getting 0 points.
I was like, why am I getting 0 points?
Yeah, that scoreboard went up, and out of 6 people, including like Casey Smith and B,
I wasn't even
all
close.
you were in
Yeah.
second to last place.
Yeah.
Spider beat you, so
Yeah.
that was tough. But anyways, Topgolf, generally cool. This Topgolf experience we had in Minnesota, about as bad and horrible of a golf
Sucks because you don't really come across Topgolfs that much in like the Northeast.
No.
got a little bit of a bad taste.
What was that?
I don't know. That thing just got super loud.
Yeah, you were so loud there.
Oh, I didn't do anything. I
You
swear.
hate Topgolf? Is that what that is?
No, I love Topgolf. I go and there's one near my parents' place in Arizona that we always go to, and it's super fun. We usually get on like the second or third level though.
The Scottsdale one,
Yeah.
that one's sick.
Yep.
I've been to that one twice.
Right next to the highway.
Awesome spot, and you can always see your ball land out there.
Big
like we were
time.
saying, like
The
you're at
Scottsdale?
like you're at a carnival.
I've been to the Scottsdale one. I stayed at that hotel.
Okay.
What is it called? The Talking Stick
Yes,
Hotel.
that's it.
Unreal Hotel.
Casino, right?
Oh yeah. Went there with my girlfriend, and I got a really bad room, and I went and I complained, and they gave us a penthouse suite.
Is that true?
Oh yeah. I was like, hey, I'm
You're
here for
a
like.
complaint guy? I don't
No,
think
I'm not. But like,
Yeah.
I went there. It was like a big trip. Like we were gonna go to the Grand Canyon, Antelope Canyon, like do all sorts of cool like outdoor shit. Went there, like spent a ton of money
Yeah.
on this. Like it's a pretty nice hotel and casino, and like we were just turned like 21, 22, so it was like a big deal for us. And they put us in this room where like the only view was fucking the parking lot, and like it was shooting the sun into our room. Like what is this shit?
Yeah.
Like this is what adults spend money on. Like no way. So I went up there, told this whole spiel. They're like, all right, we got something for you. Open up the door, and there was like champagne waiting for us in the fucking penthouse suite. Never had a nicer room since then.
Wow.
4 or 5 years.
You know what the moral of that is? Complaining works.
You
It
have to.
does. It 100%
'Cause they don't give a
works.
shit.
At the end of the day, complaining works.
All they gotta do
It's,
is
if you
click
could
a
just get
button.
past the threshold of like being uncomfortable with it,
Dude, that guy's
you're gonna
going-
get a ton of shit.
That guy behind that
Complaining
counter,
works.
that guy's going behind that counter, going home that night, and he's forgetting about you. But you get to live that experience. That he just clicked a button.
Every restaurant I go to, every time I go get lunch, someone's always in there complaining about their lunch. They get free lunch all the time.
Oh, I own a restaurant. If you want a free meal, you just say something.
Yep.
If you
Complaining
don't,
works.
if you don't want to pay that day, just say something.
Your dad is
What am I gonna
furious
do?
that you just said
Well,
that.
well, like I mean, within reason, right? Like you can get scoffed out of it. Be like, okay, like there was nothing wrong.
You know,
Right.
But like if you don't like your chicken, just be like, I don't like. If you want to be an asshole, be an asshole.
Assholes get pretty. You can scheme your way pretty
Now
far.
you are going to be an asshole though. Like I'll call you an asshole.
Yeah.
yeah, you'll
Like I was
talk
being an
shit
asshole
about
that
me
day
behind his
because I just didn't want to stay in that room. Plus, I think they were trying to take advantage of younger kids. Like they saw a younger couple and they're like, we're gonna fuck with these kids.
Yeah.
back. You know what we should have done at Topgolf?
Complained.
Complained.
Oh yeah, and there was a
Well, we just complained on the podcast. Next time Top Golf is gonna they're gonna roll out the red carpet.
there was a
They better.
just to put a bow on this story and we'll move on. There was a manager there that was the same age as Spider, and he buddied Spider. He goes, He goes 15 minutes, buddy. And Spider's like, I'm about to throw hands.
He buddied him.
Yeah, he buddied him. So he had
Big
a little.
time.
It was a little short guy, just the same size as Spider, same age as Spider, walking around with like his little tucked in Top Golf shirt, and he's like, 15 minutes, buddy. And then he stuck us in the corner.
No. That's going back to it. No chance that was an accident. Like,
No
oh,
chance.
this is the only open bay. The one in the fucking garage? Like, yeah. The guy buddied Spider. We got screwed.
I'd
It was
wait
just-
another hour for a better bay.
Me too. It was awful. Frankie and Trent, when it's time to make a hire for your small business, naturally you want to find the best person for the job. Odds are that person is on LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs makes it easy to get matched with quality candidates who make the most sense for your role. LinkedIn Jobs uses knowledge of both hard skills and soft skills to match you with the people who fit your role the best. I know this because I used to work in the recruiting industry. That's just a fact. That's what I did after college. I recruited, and by far the best place to recruit was LinkedIn. It's actually amazing how much time I spent on places not on LinkedIn, just failing.
Yeah, LinkedIn was made for that industry and made for you to be a part of that industry.
It's actually stunning that like every professional is just on LinkedIn.
You have to be.
What are you doing if you're not on
It's
LinkedIn?
the only option.
People come to LinkedIn every day to learn and advance their careers, so LinkedIn understands what they're interested in and looking for, which means when you use LinkedIn Jobs to hire someone, your matches are based on so much more than your resume. Your LinkedIn Jobs matches are based on skills and background, sure, but also interests, activities, and passions. Matching lets you quickly get a group of the most relevant, qualified candidates for your role. That way you can focus on the candidates you want to spend time talking to and make a quality hire. So here's what you're going to do. Post a job today at linkedin.com/4. That's linkedin.com/4. You're going to get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/4. $50 off your first job post. Terms and conditions apply. All right, it's Masters Week. Let's get into it. A ton to get to. Let's start with the Augusta National Women's Amateur. I watched all this on Saturday. I was sitting in my nice kind of bougie, almost hipstery hotel in Minneapolis, watching these girls go blow for blow down in the back nine at Augusta National. Incredibly cool. Jennifer Koepka, I believe that's how you say her
You
name.
just cough?
Koepka?
What was that?
Koepka?
That's a nice name.
Koepka?
Is that how you pronounce it, though?
Koepka?
I was reading it on Twitter all week. I just couldn't get it.
When her name popped up on the screen, I knew I would never be able to get it. Koepka?
I think that's right.
Her and Maria Fassi, who is an electric factory.
Much better name.
Yeah, she's
Maria Fassi.
she is.
Oh, my
She
God.
was hooting and hollering. She was doing the "Let's go" to the crowd the whole
Hell yeah.
time. It was awesome. These two, again, going back and forth. When I turned it on, they were kind of around in the back nine, and Fossey had like a 2-stroke lead and was just looking lights out. She's kind of making some big clutch putts. Ultimately ended up turning the other way. Koepka hit a 3-wood, or I think it was like her hybrid, on 13 over the Rays Creek to like 4 feet. Unlike anything I've ever seen. She's down 2 at the time. You're thinking, and she gets out-driven all day long by the Fossey girl. So she's standing in the middle. You're thinking, like, they kept talking to, she's usually one that plays this consistent game. She doesn't have to play as aggressive, but she's 2 strokes back. So you're like, okay, she's standing in 13. On 13, the ball's like, it's like a baseball swing because the ball's so much above your feet. We've seen the best players in the history of golf choke here and hit bad shots here, hit it in Rays Creek, make bogey, make double. See that shit all the time. It's Augusta National on the back nine. Hits a 3-wood or a hybrid, whatever it was, to like 4 feet, makes eagle, squares it up, ends up playing. She played the last holes like 5 under par. The last like 5 or 6 holes she played them at like 4 or 5 under par. Ended up winning by a couple. They were kind of fist bumping a little bit, but they're also very competitive. It was awesome. It was an awesome way to get I guess, reacclimated to Augusta National. And the fact that we got to watch 2 people out there, I mean, being the inaugural champion in this thing is incredibly cool.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that it's Saturday before the Masters and I get to turn it on and watch people play something that means everything to them on a Saturday and see the holes. I mean, just seeing the course is like, oh shit. And the fact that it was just these young amateur lady golfers was awesome.
I still can't believe they're doing this, and I love it. But it is strange seeing Augusta a week before this Saturday, just being like, oh, there it is. They're going to be here in a week, and it's going to be amazing. I'm really glad that they do it, and it was a very cool little warm up for the tournament this weekend. It was a very cool thing.
Yeah, it was interesting too. Thinking like as I was watching, I mean, they're pretty legitimate crowds out there.
Yeah,
and you're thinking like these 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old young women don't play in front of a lot of people ever.
Right.
I mean, even like the young men don't, like, ever play in front of a ton of people. And here they are on TV, on like national TV, playing the back nine or playing Augusta National. And on top of that, like when they were playing like Amen Corner, it was packed. When they were playing and walking up 16, which is like that's like the big theater on 16, one of the best theaters in all of golf. It was like packed. They're getting standing ovations. I was thinking these girls are playing this well in front of this many people on TV on the back nine at Augusta. It was amazing. I expected everyone to kind of collapse. They ended up like lapping the field, the 2 of them, and having kind of a heads-up match. It was awesome. It was really cool. That's a great way to get into to kind of slide into Masters Week. I did see some of Twitter doing the inevitable. While it is cool to see the event, it's pretty ridiculous that we're celebrating something that Augusta could have just done like 50 years ago. And that's, I get the point, but it's also like, I mean, they're just doing, like Fred Ridley, the new guy, he's pretty new, like a year or 2 into this gig as a chairman. Like, they're just, all you can judge now is like based off what they're doing at the time.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he can't like pay for the sins of the past.
Right.
Like, yeah, whatever's happening now is good. I understand it's a very easy thing to say, to be like, oh, man, this should have been done a long time ago. That's true, but it wasn't, but they're doing it now.
Right, we're celebrating, like, this is happening now. She can't, I don't know, it just seemed really weird to me. It's like, that'd be
nobody's happy.
Right, it'd be like, like when Obama visits, like, Hiroshima, he can't be like, well, I mean, they nuked him 60 years. It'd be like, well, I mean, that's just, that hadn't have anything to do with that.
We're trying to get better now.
Right, that's like, they're doing all they can. I don't get that. So that was, I felt like some of those were, I don't know, a little bit of like cheap shots and getting like a little bit too kind of like white knighty. It was like, look, like this is all a good, great thing that's happening now. Sure, there's a lot of other arguments you can make over the last 50, 60 years about equality of this and that, but like we're living in the now here.
Yep.
They're doing they're doing a great thing now. They've created this awesome thing. Everyone involved is going like crazy over the thing. The women are gushing over the fact they're playing at Augusta in a competitive round. It's on TV.
Just let it be cool
It's
and
just
like
awesome.
just live in the moment and let it be awesome. That picture of them fist pumping on
12.
And that could legitimately be in the clubhouse of every single golf club in America.
That's one of the coolest pics I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that was so good.
What's like the award you get for like best picture of the year?
That's an award?
Is it a Pulitzer?
Or like a Time
Pulitzer.
magazine? Oh,
Pulitzer Prize.
I think it's a
Like
Pulitzer.
that could be up for the Pulitzer for the year.
Yeah, because you get Pulitzer in a lot of different things.
In
but I think
categories, yeah.
photography is one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like the sports photography Pulitzer Prize of the Year, something like that.
Like that could be up there. I'm
That
not
could
even
be
kidding.
up there. No,
You
I
know
agree.
what? If there's gambling on that, throw that in the fucking mix and put Frankie Brothers.
Gambling on the Pulitzer.
Yeah, I mean,
like it.
That picture moved you so much. You're in on the Pulitzer.
I like remember looking at it in the car, and I like showed Dave. I was like, "Look at this fucking picture." Yeah, the Pulitzer Prize for photography.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
That's our nomination. The foreplay nomination. It's early. It's April 9th. The foreplay nomination for Pulitzer photo of the
No,
year.
it may
For all we
change-
know, it could be Pulitzer season right now.
it
They
could
could be
be
handing out
Puli-
awards
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah, let's not act like we know when Pulitzer season is. Like, there's no way it's December 31st. Like, we're acting like it's just like the end of the calendar year. But my choice could very well end on Sunday. A change on Sunday.
Easily.
Yeah.
You might see 100 pictures you like better this weekend. I'm not saying.
Well,
you're
I'm
going
just
to.
saying, like
Yeah.
Tiger doing anything on Sunday, maybe. Like, I'm so ready to see Tiger at Augusta. I mean, I'm jacked up about that picture, and I think I may print it out and like put it somewhere because I think it's fucking awesome and symbolizes everything that's good about like that place in golf and like where it's going right now.
Yep.
But fucking Tiger Woods, man, Tiger just like looks good in some of the pictures we're seeing him right now in Augusta. He looks like he looks like he like shaved off 10 years of his life. You know how like when you get like LASIK eye surgery, they peel back like a piece of your like eye.
Yeah.
I think he did that with his skin, just stepping into Augusta.
I don't know what happens. You're right. He loses 10 to 15 years when he arrives at
His
Augusta.
skin looks smooth. He's not sweating that much.
I
It's
don't know how they
crazy.
do that. I mean, I understand they make the grass a certain green. The trees are like, they just look more majestic than other trees. The water looks like more perfect than other water.
The water
And
looks incredible.
Tiger Woods looks 15 years younger. When
His
he's at Augusta.
smile is more like genuine and soft. He's not like sometimes you see him out there. It looks like he's struggling.
Yeah, look at this picture with him and Freddie. Fist bumping.
I
That might be a
mean,
better
Good
picture.
he looks.
He just looks great.
Why does he look so much younger?
His
I mean, he's
biceps look
fucking
huge.
jacked.
Yeah,
He
does.
is jacked. So look, we got a lot of Tiger stuff to get into. He did. I'll just start with this: that he had a quote from their little golf TV thing they do now, where he basically kind of controls all of his own media, which is hilarious and interesting in and of itself. But he had a quote where they asked him what the Masters means to him, and he said, "It's the best thing that we have in our sport."
What a succinct way to put it.
That's just so good. Like, you could talk up everything else, and there are a lot of great things in golf, and we get excited for a lot of different events and a lot of different things, but it's the best thing that we have in our
It's the
sport.
most true thing ever said about sports.
Ever.
Nothing even comes close to this.
No. It's just, that's just,
We can, yeah, like you're saying, like we can try and make it like that, but nothing comes even close.
nothing. And it's just so succinct. Like you said, it's the best thing that we have in our sport. So Tiger, he arrived on property as well on Sunday. He arrived early. Nick Faldo tweeted out a picture and said Tiger's the last one on the golf course on Sunday night with like the sun setting, that vista at Augusta. I think he was on like the 9th green, and it was basically just him at Augusta, the only person there. Patrons aren't even allowed yet on Sunday.
Pulitzer. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Frankie's already moved on.
I mean,
He's
that
moved
picture was, I forgot about it already. That picture is that picture got me going.
I got tears in my eyes when I looked at that picture.
Dude, the way this sun, and that came from an iPhone, like the way that the sun was coming into the phone like that, and he was just out there just chipping or putting, whatever the hell he was doing. He was floating. That's what he was doing. He was floating on the green.
Trent's looking at it right now. I don't. Sir Nick capturing that too is like, I love the thought of like Sir Nick walking kind of between like the 9th and 18th greens at Augusta National, and like kind of his big goofy self walking around and like looking over to his left and being like, oh, there's Tiger.
Yeah,
Like,
this would be good for Twitter,
Right?
and he like gets it out and tweets it out. All-time photo, got the juices going, and then a couple other pics arrived that day. I think Augusta, they even wrote a little article about Tiger being at Augusta on Sunday. I don't remember him typically arriving that early. So they wrote a little article, and in that they described how Tiger, like he played the front 9, they said, but rather than walk to the first tee and hit driver, he walked to the first tee with only a wedge, juggling his golf ball in the air and just kind of shooting the shit. He went over to I can't remember who he ran into, but he dapped up a guy and like signed a couple things for another guy in the field, and then he walked to the green and just did a bunch of chipping, and he walked the front 9 and just kind of chipped around on each green and hit bunker shots. I saw one pic, a classic Augusta pic from like face on of Tiger in a bunker, him hitting a bunker shot where the sand's like splashing up in the air, and I was just like, we're here. It's Masters Week.
Did you see his bag?
Oh, his bag is
He's
unreal.
got a new bag. I got it pulled up here. Did you see it?
I saw it.
He's got every year that he won stamped on the bottom.
Perfectly stitched on the bottom of his unreal monster bag.
What a flex that is
Ugh.
from him. New bag this week, he says. Fucking A.
It's just so exciting. How about the fact that we're gonna get to watch this guy play healthy, coming off a win that wasn't that long ago. I know it feels like a long time because he hasn't played that well this year. He also hasn't had that many bad finishes this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't that far off from winning the WGC match play a couple weeks ago when Kids ended up winning. He is I think he's number 12 ranked player in the world. Our guy Brandel Chamblee, I heard him on Golf Channel the last couple days. He said, I think when Sergio won at the Masters, Sergio was the 12th ranked player in the world a couple years ago, and then somebody else recently was number 12 ranked player in the world when they won. Somebody else in the last 5 or 6 years. Excuse me. So he's right in that sweet spot. Very, very realistic that he could win. He will be rocking the mock turtlenecks all week. The mock neck thing shirts that he's got. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah.
How do we feel about those things?
I don't love him. If we're being upfront about it.
Just give me a collared shirt, Tiger.
Yeah.
I don't love
Keep
him.
it simple.
I don't love him, but I kind of like the way he looks in him.
He looks great. It's
Yeah.
true. Somebody sent in from the gallery basically being like, look, we get that Tiger rocks him. Tiger looks good and everything on the golf course, but do they sell any of these things when he wears them? I feel like they'd be way better served to just do collared golf shirts if you were Nike. No?
Yeah, I feel like I've never seen. You just don't see people rocking those. You're right. He's the only person that looks good in them.
I mean, if you roll up to the tee, you've got a red Tiger mock neck Nike shirt on.
It's like, why are you guys looking at me?
You better be. You either need to be the funniest person I've ever met in my
Yes.
entire life, and just no, I'm the biggest Tiger guy in the world, or you need to be shooting 65 out there. 'Cause I don't know.
I feel like they haven't sold one of those.
I've never
Not a single one.
I just started imagining that. I mean, if I pulled up to the range and I saw a couple guys in their Tiger mock necks on the range, just fucking hacking it up left and right, hitting huge slices over the range net.
You can't do it. But,
You
dude, I'm
can't
looking
do
at this picture. He looks so good in them. It's so, I cannot wait. I think he looks better in that red one than he does, ever. There's the picture of him celebrating in it. He fills that shirt out so well.
Look, that red one is off the charts. For
That's
Tiger.
How are you going to
him
show
at
that one
peak-
to us? We're
That's
not going to
him
be
at
like, oh, we
peak
don't like
Tiger.
that one.
Him right there, fucking fist pumping in this picture we're looking, in his mock shirt.
Yes, I agree. That's unreal. Now, imagine Joe Schmo in the driving range in that
No.
same exact getup. Right?
Unbelievable.
Joe Schmo can get away with a red polo. Can't get away with a red mock neck.
You have to have Tiger's body, and you have to have Tiger's fucking skill to be able to wear that thing.
Right, and there's really only
There's
one person
His name's Tiger Woods.
in the history of the world that has that. So it's going to be really, really cool. Will Gray of Golf Channel tweeted out, it appears Tiger is already in game mode. JT, after a 9-hole session with Tiger and Freddie, said, quote, Tiger probably isn't as, I'm not trying to be mean, but isn't as helpful as I would say Freddie. At this point, he just doesn't quite give as much information.
Good.
Keeping those cards tight to the chest.
Good.
Like that.
Love everything about that. It is Masters Week. It's Tiger Woods.
I love this quote from Nike where they're asked if any other Nike athletes will rock. He said, everything we do is for Tiger. It's just for him.
They said that?
Yep.
Oh, it's magnificent. So
I mean, that actually makes me think that he just likes the feel of them and he just wants to wear them. Like you're saying,
Yeah,
they would obviously they would
It's
just.
definitely his call.
Oh yeah, and
Right.
it has nothing to do with sales. Has nothing to do with college shirts. He's just
They're
I
are
fucking
probably
love the way I look at
haven't
these things.
sold a single one of
These things are comfortable as shit.
But Tiger likes the way they feel, so he wears them.
Tiger, our current sales on those are 0. Yeah, I know. I
He's
look awesome.
I look awesome. He's going. What is he going? Navy. He's going navy.
Oh,
light
it's
gray.
scripting season.
Frankie's doing scripting season. I bet he's wearing red on Sunday.
That's a big thing. We're making fun of it now. What you're doing.
I was gonna do it.
You know, we're literally making fun of you.
Do you want to still do it?
I was gonna do it.
You
Do
were
it.
you were gonna list the colors of his shirt?
No,
And
do
at the end, I was gonna say it, and we all know he's wearing Sunday.
it. Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it.
I know you want to do it.
It's 2:32 in the morning. Do it. Do it.
He's wearing navy.
Okay.
All right.
He's going with a light gray on Friday.
That's nice.
Okay.
Looks like he's going with a little hot pink. No, light pink on Saturday.
Okay.
You know what he's wearing Sunday?
What?
Tell me.
He's wearing blood red.
That's
Come
it.
on. Blood red?
Wow.
Blood red.
He's out for blood, baby.
Wow.
Now, the only reason I brought that up was not to get mocked by you two fucking
Oh,
assholes.
mocked. Nice. It's a mock neck.
Bang!
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Cali
Dap
Daps,
it up.
baby.
Cali
Cali,
dapping in
know
the
what I'm
studio.
saying?
It
Yeah,
all comes
Frank.
full circle,
Yeah,
baby. What was that, 5 weeks in a row?
Frankie is so on fire with his puns that
I
he
didn't even
did
try.
not plan that
No
well.
way.
Not at all.
You know, I was going to say, when he mocks this shit up, I think the pink may be the best look of the fucking weekend.
Pink is good. He is a mock guy. He's a mock neck guy. But nobody else is. That's kind of the problem and what's weird to me. But anyways,
Masters.
Tiger, Masters. He's going to be playing. We're going to get to watch him play a competitive round at Augusta on Thursday. It's going to be really, really cool. Get excited. Warm weather season is here, and luckily Tommy John, the most comfortable underwear on the planet, the only underwear in our drawers at this point. We sort of had to, we've just evolved. We at first were like, wow, we have a couple pair of Tommy John. They're the best. Then you're like, all right, now we're like half Tommy John. Now we're at the point where the only thing that we wear is Tommy John.
Yeah, and I'm talking about Tommy John even when it's not on the podcast and during like reads. I actually advocated for Tommy John during my Vegas trip when one of our coworkers, Paul Gilzinski, how do you say his last name? Gilzinski, what a nightmare that last name is.
Wow, you really grinded through
The
that.
only thing bigger nightmare than that is the way it's spelled.
Yeah, and the only thing a bigger nightmare than that is the way he wears his loose-fitting underwear around like hotel rooms, and it makes him look like an alien. And I literally said, we got to get this guy some Tommy Johns. They support the brand. They support the pod. Is this guy not walking around in Tommy Johns? Look at him. Look like a human being once in your life.
How is anybody not like walking around in Tommy
crazy.
Johns? What is the point? I don't.
Dude, and they're so easy to pack too because they're nice, thin, that quality. When I get now I drop my clothes off at a wash and fold. It's like one of the biggest like luxuries I've ever had to do in my entire life. It's
The best.
For some reason, the guy can fold 10,000 pounds of laundry into a little box. I don't know how he does it. It's like a nice, but the way he folds the Tommy Johns, I take them and I put them right in my fucking suitcase, and it fits in the smallest little container. It's crazy.
I bet I haven't played a round of golf without a pair of Tommy John on in over a year.
God, it's so perfect.
Both Tommy John men's and women's underwear sport a no wedgie guarantee. That's nice. Comfortable stay-put waistbands and a range of fabrics that are luxuriously soft and designed to move with you. That's just incredibly true. Tommy John is so sure you're going to love the fit and feel that it's all backed by their best pair you'll ever wear or its free guarantee. That means you don't love your first pair. You'll get a full refund at Tommy John. No adjustment needed. Just hurry to TommyJohn.com/4 right now. That's TommyJohn.com/4. You're going to get 20% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/4. 20% off. That's TommyJohn.com/4. Let's go through kind of some of the rest of the field. There's so many names. I was going through all this. People keep asking me. We're in Minneapolis all week. Every person I saw, who do you like this week? It's tough. It's really, really difficult. Rory is the odds-on favorite, as he should be. He's been playing unbelievable golf. He should have won the Masters a couple times already. It's the only major championship he doesn't have. If he does win, he would become just the 6th player of all time to win the career Grand Slam.
Wow.
We were going through it. I believe it's Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, our good close personal friend, Mr. Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods. Imagine being in that group.
Hell of a group.
That's a group. That's a serious group.
You know you did something good when you're in that group.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He won the Players' Championship about a month ago, played lights out, if you recall. Actually, I don't know if he played lights out. He really didn't feel like he even had his A game, and he won the biggest tournament of the year thus far. His last starts, here's his finishes. Tied for 4th, tied for 5th, tied for 4th, 2nd, tied for 6th, 1st, tied for 9th. That's how
What
well
a
he's
run.
playing. His last 5 Masters tournaments, tied for 8th, 4th, tied for 10th, tied for 7th, tied for 5th.
Fuck.
A guy playing that well with that good of a track record at Augusta National, who most people believe's A game is better than anybody else's A game on planet Earth, coming off a massive win at the Players' Championship, coming off playing really well at in Austin and just losing to Tiger Woods in a classic battle, who's probably the greatest golfer of all time, definitely is the greatest golfer of all time. It's hard not to have him as the favorite. So Rory, it's going to be fun to watch him. It's almost a lock, I would say, that Rory is in one of the final 3 groups, I would say.
I think that's a lock.
I think it's a lock. There's almost no imaginable
He's
scenario.
just playing too well to like fall off that far, right? Like he's always going to be in it when he's like right now he's just on fire. He's a man on fire. He's not like nothing about his game right now will allow him to really blow up.
And he's the best driver of the golf ball
Yeah.
on the planet, and he loves the high draw. That's the golf shot that you have to be able to hit at Augusta National. Be able to get to every par 5. There's 4 of them. He'll be able to get to every par 5 in 2. So it's almost like when you start doing the math, it's almost unimaginable that he's not somewhere between like 8 and 12 under going into Sunday, which like at that point he's gonna be in the final 3 groups. So again, it's almost I can't even fathom a scenario where he's not in the final 3 groups at least. So Rory, odds-on favorite as he should be. Go through a couple of these other names. We were talking in the Uber ride back from the airport because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:36 in the morning.
236.
Yeah, 2:36. Brooks Koepka. Nobody's even mentioned Brooks Koepka's name. Guy's won, I think, 3 of the last 6 major championships.
Yeah,
25 to 1 odds. That's pretty fucking good odds. Like
25 to 1.
25 to 1.
That's insane.
It's
how's
crazy.
that
Like we
possible?
might have to put some money on that.
Yeah, I think we should.
I
'Cause
forget
that's
that
crazy.
Yeah, I forget that Brooks Koepka's a person. Like people all week, like when you're just thinking of something off the top of your head, someone comes up to me at Cowboy Jacks, like when we were doing radio, they're like, "Yo, Frankie, who's your favorite guy?" And like I was thinking of some guys, like I'm rattling off some names, and like Brooks Koepka never once pops in my head. Guys won 3 out of the last 6 majors.
It really makes no sense, but at the same time,
I compared him to. I mean, everyone probably does it now because he used to be boring, but now he has a camp.
He's a lightning rod.
But when he was boring, it's like when someone asks you
He
about
does
like your
have a camp.
favorite baseball players, you're like, oh, well, like you think of all the people that just pop into your head. It's like Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts, like JD Martinez, like all these guys that just like are always there. And then like, oh yeah, what about Mike Trout? Like that's exactly who Brooks Koepka is. Like you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about the guy who's like the best in the world.
Yeah.
2 of the last 3 major championships that have been played have been won by Brooks Koepka, and 3 of the last 6 that he's played in, because he missed the Masters last year, if you remember, with the wrist injury, he's won. And people, again, don't even mention him, which it's like that's kind of his thing, that he likes to get really upset, and he also ended up creating a whole camp around the fact that he doesn't
Rory's in the camp.
doesn't get enough. Rory's
Oh, yeah.
actually in his camp. I forgot about that. So Brooks Koepka's up there. Dustin Johnson feels like DJ, if you remember 2 years ago. DJ had won, I believe, 3 starts in a row and was considered a lock to win the Masters before the stairs incident.
Yeah.
Remember the stairs incident? How
Just
crazy that was?
Slippery socks.
Yeah, we never totally got an answer.
All the
No.
DMs we got, 8,000 different theories about what happened.
Every person on planet Earth that was involved in Dustin Johnson's fall, according to our DMs.
We got the same story that all of you out there, I'm sure you've heard.
Yep.
About what happened with Dustin Johnson and the stairs, and involving maybe another golfer and maybe some females. And you could then substitute in every golfer in the world
Right.
for like the other person that was involved.
Yeah.
And people said that like, oh, I know it was this. I have really good sources that it was this guy who did this and that and this. And
In
that.
reality, no one knows what the hell happened.
At the end of the day, like, I'm pretty sure he just like fell down the stairs. and
Yeah,
hurt
at this
his
point,
back.
I've now come around to it where he was just telling the truth, and there was nothing crazy going on. He just happened to fall, and you give the reason, and people are like, that's not real.
It was like rainy that Wednesday. Remember that?
Yeah.
It got rained out. It was our first time in Augusta. It
Yep.
got rained out. And then the most convincing thing that I saw was some stoolie sent us like, hey, my buddy was renting the house that Dustin Johnson stayed at this past weekend. Here are the stairs. And it was like a 2 or 3 stair spot in the middle of the house where it was like concrete floors or something, like kind of in like a little awning or something like that. And it was like, it was just really like, there was a lot of moisture, and then he just kind of slipped and like messed up his back.
You could be looking down at your phone, like if there's just steps in
Easily.
the middle of the fucking room, you could just easily slip.
How infuriating does that have to be if you're Dustin Johnson and you actually did just trip?
Well, also
And
he
it
was
just
going
runs
through a lot of
lodge-
shit.
That's just, you just got to be like, no, I just tripped and fell. Like, you guys are looking too much into it, and you just have no control of
He
this
slipped
story.
on the fucking stairs. Like, what do you want me to tell you? And then he wasn't the same after that. Remember that? He withdrew
Yeah.
for the Masters.
Yep.
And then he wasn't the same for like the rest of the year. He just wasn't as dominant. But he ended up he was like a lock that year to win. So it's kind of just DJ's obviously a big name. He won. What did he win earlier this year? He won in Mexico. Is that right? WGC Mexico, where he went up against Rory down the stretch. And so I mean, it's not like he's far off at all in terms of being right there, being in the mix, having as good a chance as anybody else to win the Masters.
What do we think about Kevin Kisner? I know we had him on the show, and he said he wasn't going to win the tournament, but I feel something deep in my plums that he might have a chance.
You think so?
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
he does draw the ball.
Yep.
Which you have to be able to draw the ball at Augusta National if you're a righty. in order to play well there because there's just so many goddamn holes where you have to hit a right to left shot. So that's big. He doesn't have the length, but hopefully if the place plays like decently firm, it helps him. Kiz is a phenomenal putter. He's one of the best putters on planet Earth, so that always helps him. So he needs it, in my opinion. He needs it to play difficult. I was rewatching the Spieth 2016 Masters, which is the one where he collapsed, and the winning score there was, I think Danny Will, it was like 5 under or something. Kiz can win a Masters like that. Same with ZJ.
Yep.
When your boy
That's
ZJ
what I was
won.
thinking.
Yeah. ZJ was like one of the only players under par.
Yes.
That whole week when he laid up on all the par fives and all that. So I think Kiz needs something like that. Last year when it was, when you had Patrick Reed, Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy out there all ripping it and shooting like 15 under.
Lights out, yeah.
I don't know that Kiz can post 15 under at Augusta.
No.
I think he knows that. But it's hard him coming off that good of a performance at Austin and winning and having that good of a performance back-to-back years, and the fact that he's played so consistently throughout the year, like doesn't miss cuts, kind of always in the mix. And if you just stay in the mix at a major championship, you never know because of the pressure, back nine at Augusta, all that stuff. So Kiz, I'm definitely not ruling him out. I don't think he's bad value. He always is. I think he's pretty much always good value.
Yeah,
because
I would agree with that.
Right, because like nobody rates him very highly.
Sitting at 60 to 1 right now.
Is that what he is?
Yes.
60 to 1?
Yep.
See, I love him at 60 to 1.
Me too.
There's no doubt about that.
Me too.
I'm sort of obsessed with that with our guy Kiz. So I do. I like Kiz. Go through a couple other names. I mean, Justin Thomas. People haven't really, for whatever reason, I feel like I haven't heard JT named very often. It feels like not that long ago that he had won, 5 times? Was that 2 years ago? A year and a half ago? He won 5 times in the PGA Tour and then won a couple times to begin the ring-around season. Won the major championship there at Quail Hollow, won the PGA, and it felt like nobody in the world could possibly be better than Justin Thomas. That doesn't feel like that long ago. You got to think he's going to really have some good chances at Augusta over the course of his career. I don't know why this wouldn't be one of those years. Justin Rose. If you remember a couple months ago on this very podcast, I mentioned that Justin Rose.
Was it that you made a prediction of some sort?
I said that he was my pick to win the Masters. I stand by that. I still feel just as confident as I did then. You don't get great odds with Justin Rose because he's literally the number 1 ranked player in the world. But
people forget that.
And he looks like one of those cats. He looks like a cat from a cartoon.
He does look like a cat. That's a pretty hard-hitting analysis, but
There's
he does look like a cat.
An analyst?
I couldn't say
draw-
that
there's
word.
a-
It's
there's a cart-
2:43 in the morning.
There's a cat in a Disney old school cartoon that he looks just like a smug little cat. I go, we've done that. We did that the other day. You know what I mean?
Look, he definitely looks like.
I'll piss on that ball. Like he doesn't give a fuck about you.
That's kind of crazy to say because he's like the nicest
I
guy
know
in
he
the world.
is. It's just like his smug little cat face. He does have a smug little cat face.
I can't disagree with you.
You can't.
Yeah, odds are.
I don't think he doesn't have a cat face.
I think he absolutely has a cat face.
Look, he's number 1 ranked player in the world.
Great bet.
His last 4 Masters finishes tied for second, tied for 10th, second, tied for 12th. People forget, and I've mentioned it on this show before, that if you go rewatch when Sergio won the Masters in 2017, it is incomprehensible as you're watching the beginning of that back nine that somehow Justin Rose wouldn't win the Masters.
Right.
I mean, Sergio's up in the damn trees on 10. They go through the first part of Amen Corner, fine, but then they get to 13. Sergio, hooks one left on 13, then tries to play out of the trees, left of Rays Creek on 13, ends up hitting it in the creek, takes a drop, chips out, ends up somehow getting up and down for par on 13, and then Rose misses a good birdie putt on 13. And then next thing you know, Sergio eagles 15, and somehow they go into the playoff, and he wins the Masters. So if you look back at that, Justin Rose definitely could have won the Masters at that point. And based on those finishes that I just said, tied for second, tied for 12th, second, tied for second, tied for 10th, second, tied for 12th. He's right there, and he's the number 1 ranked player in the world. John Rahm, remember him last year? Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the mix at this thing, and he had a players type episode where he started to go a little sideways on him. He started to prove that he was kind of a psychopath.
Oh, yeah.
We were out in front of that.
Oh, yeah, Rom.
We're always
We
out in
know
front of
we know
that.
who you are.
That was ours. That's ours. Remember,
That's
the
our
John
little
Rahm
thing that
temper
we-
tantrum. That's
This
ours.
little thing that we came up with in this little studio here.
That's ours.
We cooked that up. We cooked that up a little gas.
But yeah, he did.
No, we invented that.
He did. He had a little.
Someone
freak
came
out.
up to me that yesterday, like at that Cowboy Jacks, like, love the way you guys outed John Rahm for being a crazy person. I'm like, that's right, boy.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
ours. That's
They
our-
said that?
Oh yeah.
That's great.
Were they mocking you
also-
or no?
No, because then he invited me to like Colonial. Did that guy come up to you and
Fuck.
invite you? He gave me a card. He's like, come to Colonial anytime. Like, I'll be there tomorrow.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know about that. Got a lot of invites out to Hazeltine. I actually really wanted to play Hazeltine while we were out in Minneapolis, but
I think it was
It's
closed.
closed.
Can I give you my sleeper pick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you came in with a sleeper pick?
I came in with this. I mean, I don't know how much of a sleeper pick it is. 25 to 1 shot.
All right. So I don't think that's.
His name is Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay.
It's not really much of a sleeper pick, but
No, I wouldn't
not
call
many
it.
people are talking about him. You know, and last year he finished T17, but recently he's been playing good golf. Like he finished T3 at Arnold Palmer, and then T5 at the Players. He didn't really do that great at the WGC, but you know, T3 and T5 back to back in 2 massive tournaments, and now coming into somewhere where he didn't play that bad. He was 4 under last year, posted 66 on Saturday. Like he can play this course pretty well. And Tommy Fleetwood fucks.
Tommy Fleetwood fucks.
Like, if you're going to put money on someone that's 25 to 1, you might as well put money on a guy that fucks. Because you know he's staying loose all weekend.
Look, I think that's a great choice. I guess some people might bust your balls for calling it sleeper, but then again, I wouldn't because nobody's talking about
Not
Tommy
one
Fleetwood.
person's talking about Tommy
Not
Fleetwood.
at all. He's not going to get any press.
Like, if
Maybe
you want to
it's-
talk sleeper, like, yeah, once you get to, like, the 100 to 1, like Keegan Bradley.
Cameron
100
Smith.
Keegan Bradley, like, sometimes that guy's just always in the fucking mix.
Yeah.
He does
Oh,
have
yeah.
the- he does have those tournaments where it's
Yo,
like, oh shit.
Keegan Bradley, 100 to 1. Throw $1 on the guy.
Yeah, for real. That
Throw $10 on
100
Keegan.
to 1 seems a little, you know. Come on.
I don't hate $1 on Keegs. I'll go $1 on Keegs.
125 to 1. I'll throw $10 on Keegs right now.
It's good value.
It's a very good opportunity.
VJ Singh, 500 to 1.
What a story that would be.
This is a very good opportunity for us, gentlemen. He was, what was it, the Honda Classic? He was in like the final group.
Imagine he wins.
Yeah.
Was that the Honda? Or was that Bay Hill? I can't remember. One of those. Florida Swing. He was in the final group. I think it was Honda Classic.
Whatever you fuck, I fucked it up. Never mind.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say whatever you
VJ say.
Yeah, whatever you say, but it was VJ.
Yeah, you're reaching.
Yeah, it was a reach.
248.
It's 248.17.
I don't hate that you're reaching right now. This is a great time for us to mention that FanDuel, our good friends at FanDuel,
Oh yeah.
they are running their biggest golf contest ever. Okay, ever. It's a $1 million total prize pool. This is how it works. $15 entry. You can enter up to 150 times. First place gets $200,000. This is where it gets really good, gentlemen. If Tiger Woods wins the Masters, you get your money back for every entry, whether you have Tiger on your team or not.
I
Wow.
love it. They're going all in on that.
What a great contest to run.
Yeah, that's like it.
You have to join them because you're all basically rooting for Tiger.
That's like if you those furniture places are like, yeah, if like the Red Sox win the World Series, we'll give everybody like a free couch,
Amazing.
and then they just hope to God they don't win the World Series. So
Mom
this-
and pop furniture company calls all the employees like, unfortunately, we're out of business.
Yeah.
You know, the Red Sox just couldn't fucking lose. Those damn socks.
our good friends at FanDuel, here's what you do. You go sign up and play at FanDuel.com/4play, okay? FanDuel, that's FanDuel.com/4play, FanDuel.com/4play. $15 entry. It's their biggest golf contest ever. $1 million total prize pool. First place gets $200,000. And if Tiger Woods wins the Masters, you get your money back for every entry, whether you pick him on your team or not. I don't know what they're thinking over at FanDuel. I think that doesn't even make any sense.
If you're going to bet on the Masters and you're going to join a FanDuel, tournament, you have to join this one because just in case Tiger Woods wins, you're going to be gassed up about that, number one. Number two, you want to be a part of something in which Tiger Woods wins. Number three, you get your money back even if you don't pick him.
It's pretty nuts. So we were, again, on the Uber back, we were kind of going through, we're looking at the roster, these FanDuel, the daily fantasy stuff, the FanDuel, it's incredibly fun to do. You get 6 spots. You get a $60,000 budget salary, and you go through. Our guy, now we're kind of looking at different players. trying to figure out good value. You know, there's always a lot of different ways to play these types of things. That's what makes it fun. It's like you trying to pick like, oh, I want to pick the guy that nobody else is gonna pick. So we each went through. We each kind of picked out a guy that we like. I picked Bubba Watson. Bubba Watson's at $10,200 pick. The reason I like him is because Bubba Watson has won the Masters twice, and I feel like nobody's going to take Bubba Watson. Number one, they don't like him. And number two, he just gets passed up. People just pass Bubba Watson.
Right.
They just don't think about Bubba Watson. He's a lefty. Lefties dominated at Augusta when you consider the numbers of how many lefties there are out there. Ever since Mike Weir won, Phil's won 3 times, Bubba's won twice. Lefties dominated out there. Bubba won a couple times on tour last year. I think he won like 3 times on tour last year. So it's not like he's that far off. My guy, $10,000 or $10,200 salary hit, Bubba Watson. Trent Daddy?
Zach Johnson.
Why?
You know, he just seems like a good guy. He's from a great place.
Great upbringing.
He's won here. Yeah, great upbringing. He's won there before. Back in 2007, I watched my Uncle Jack cry when he
Your Uncle Jack cried?
Yeah, he cried when Zach won the Masters, which was a very emotional time for our family. It's $9,000. Seems like a good bet. And like we talked about a little bit earlier, if Zach Johnson's in the mix at Augusta, then so is Kevin Kisner, and that's all good.
So another thing I'm obsessed with on the FanDuel app is their stats are just off the charts when you click on these guys. And I just clicked on Kiz, and it's a nice throwback to. You can just click on Game Log, and it's such a nice throwback to all his finishes: T24, T22, T23, T27, T28, T26. And then there's a first.
It just felt good to be alive during that streak. I'll be
so
bouncing my
good.
grandkids on my knee telling them about that streak. No doubt about
The
it.
stats on this thing are awesome. Look
I
at
didn't
that.
realize you could do that. You can't just click on
It's
it.
really, really cool. Frankie, who's your guy?
I'm going Phil Mickelson.
Wow.
10,500. I mean, how can you not pick Phil at Augusta?
And Phil won at Pebble earlier.
That's right. So Phil's like playing good golf. He's mixing it up on Twitter with us. Like he's going crazy. He's getting good stories. Phil's just like in my brain. Phil has incepted my brain, and I wouldn't be surprised if Phil's just been in the mix, like on and off the golf course. Like I just wouldn't be surprised if he's putting on the green jacket.
Phil is a guy who, when there's good stories about him out there, he plays better.
I actually just messed around and I put together an unbelievable lineup.
Did
I
you?
filled the whole thing out perfectly. All money used.
You want to give away some of your picks?
I'll give away my whole thing.
Give it to
Or is
us.
that not smart?
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
Dustin Johnson.
Pretty good.
Now, this is all within, they're allowing me to pick this, which I actually think is, unfair. I'm absolutely joining this.
And if Tiger wins,
Right.
Get your money
This
back.
So,
is free.
Dustin Johnson, Tiger Woods, because I can't not pick Tiger Woods. I don't care. I'm not going to be part of something where it's like if I don't pick him, I'm going to pick Tiger Woods.
I agree.
Like,
I've
I'm
been doing that and gambling and golf for a year and a half now.
So, I'm still under the budget. I picked Dustin Johnson and Tiger Woods, 2 of the best players in the world.
Yep.
I'm going to throw in Phil Mickelson there. I'm now down to 3 of
Wow.
the best golfers in the world are on my thing. You know who's 4th?
Who?
Tony Finau. Guy's finishing second in every single tournament he's ever played in. You don't think this guy's ready to play at the Augusta right now?
I thought you were going to say like Rory McIlroy, the pace you've been going.
No, but I have 4 unbelievable golfers on my
Remember
list.
when he
Now I
snapped
wanna
his ankle last year?
Oh, I
You know
do.
who's 5th?
Who's your glue guys?
You can't throw this guy out at Augusta. Who do you think it is?
Freddie
worth-
Couples.
Yes.
Yeah.
7,000.
When you said you can't throw this
You
guy
can't
out,
throw
I
him out.
knew it.
$7,800.
I saw that value too, Freddie.
How
at
can
that?
you not put Freddie Couples in this
Oh.
thing where you already have Dustin Johnson, you already have Tiger Woods, you already have Phil Mickelson? Freddie Couples, you have to. And I'm
fist bumping him. You're
and I'm
fist bumping him.
closing it out with Kevin Kisner.
Wow.
$8,700.
What?
I may have the best
That's pretty good.
lineup for Masters Sunday or Masters Week that you could ever possibly imagine. Ever. I don't see one thing that's
There's
wrong
no
with
flaw.
this. There's not one flaw. I have it all covered. I have the old guy, Freddie Couples, who just floats at Augusta. I have Tiger Woods, who's literally a fucking ghost there, and he can just do whatever he wants. Dustin Johnson, we just talked about. Kevin Kisner draws the ball, like you said. Phil Mickelson's a fucking god. I mean, you guys kidding me? I just figured it out. I cracked the code. FanDuel.
I like
Write
that
the
too.
check.
FanDuel.com/4play. Go get yourself in the mix again. All the terms, all that.
And I
It's
think
just
they
as good
cap
as it
out
gets.
the entry, so you guys got to start. You guys got to do it immediately, right? Because what I'm seeing is at some point, you just can't get in. There's a little
There's a limit,
there's a limit.
capacity.
There's a number of entries and then a dash and then there's another number.
I gotta be honest. I don't see that on my little list here, but if that's the case, regardless, go get yourself involved. FanDuel, very fun. Frankie's obsessed already.
Unbelievable.
You know what feels great? Paying off high-interest credit cards, getting a lower rate, and saving money. We're all real-world adults now. We have realized this beyond belief. Thank God for Lightstream. We don't know anything about finance. We don't know anything about consolidation, getting yourself into a better financial situation, paying things off at a lower rate.
None of that.
Not even, I mean, not
When you
even,
say consolidation, my head explodes.
I don't
You don't
understand
speak-
anything about money.
we don't speak that language.
I just read something that Istanbul is building an $11 billion airport. Like, you think I know anything about money? When I saw that number, $11 billion.
You were probably like, I think 11 million could probably cover it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
11 billion?
$11 billion airport.
What?
It doesn't make any sense.
Is it a space
This is
station?
what I mean. This is why we need Lightstream to be able to figure out like what money can buy you. What can money do? Like how can I make my money work for me? Because Istanbul is making that money work.
Istanbul has $11 billion.
They're gonna accommodate 200 million passengers a year. These are numbers that don't make any sense.
I just they're flying spaceships in and out of that thing.
No, it's insane. But they're making their money work. They're probably on Lightstream.
Anyway, they might be. They got an unreal rate and consolidate everything down. And we're like, let's build this airport. Look, you can refinance your credit card balances and save with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. Get a fixed rate as low as 6.14% APR with auto pay. Get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000 and there are no fees. You can even get your money as soon as the single day that you apply. Plus, Lightstream is a division of SunTrust Bank, one of the nation's most largest financial institutions, so you have complete peace of mind. Want to save even more? Our listeners get an additional interest rate discount. Only way to get that discount, go to lightstream.com/4. That's lightstream.com/4. Subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.50% auto pay discount. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/4 for more information. A couple other little nuggets of information I want to talk about. First of all, Charley Hoffman, guaranteed to be wearing a green glove and be in the lead on Thursday.
No doubt about
I think
it.
that's a lock, right?
Yep.
Everybody just knows.
We talked about that. We said like Tiger just needs to like stay with the pace because there is going to be that guy that just jumps out to that lead. Like you look at the leaderboard, if Tiger's like 2 under, 3 under on the first day, and like all right, like someone's 7 under. Who the hell is that?
Charlie.
It's Charlie. It's Charlie. That's who it is.
Charlie
It's a Charlie
Hoffman-
Hoffman
And you
spot.
never get nervous ever.
His over-under on Thursday at Augusta has to be like 67.
Yeah.
And he's always like smiling, and you're like, this guy. How is this guy an athlete? Like, how is this guy a professional athlete?
Remember a couple years ago, we were legit upset on Friday. He was at like 10 under. We were like, is
He's
Charlie Hoffman just
ruining-
going to win this by like 10 shots?
Yeah.
And then he, I don't
And then
think
we
he
came
finished
back to
top
earth.
10.
We're like, there's no chance. And we were like, Charlie Hoffman is so much Charlie Hoffman that we didn't even give him a chance when he was 10 under.
No, we didn't. And we were right. And I like Charlie Hoffman. The Seagull.
Yeah.
We call him the Seagull.
Oh yeah, we interviewed him on the show.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
It was Kisner, Kevin Chappell, and Charlie Hoffman all in the same little group.
And we were at 30 Rock.
We were at 30 Rock, getting
It's
ready
a
for the
weird office building.
yeah,
Well,
getting ready
office
for
part
the,
of it.
getting ready for the President's Cup, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we called Charlie the Seagull." Like why? Like, he just flies over and shits on everyone. Great nickname. So Charlie Hoffman, great guy, but he's just a lock to be leading the Masters on Thursday, and then